So the topic that I'm going to be discussing for today is a video that was recently posted by New York Times. The title is Dying in the Name of Vaccine Freedom, an NYT opinion. And basically my opinion is that, well, they could have done better. And here's why.
It's hard to watch the pandemic drag on as Americans refuse the vaccine in the name of freedom.
Okay, so this video already starts off guns a-blazing, pretty much placing blame on the reason why we're still in this situation is because of those who are unvaccinated. I just have a question about that. Why is it so hard for you to watch as the pandemic drag on while other people decide to not get vaccinated? Why is that so much of an issue? You are vaccinated, so the chances of you succumbing to the virus has decreased drastically, according to what you're saying. So is it because out of the goodness of your heart, you care about every single American citizen and you just want to get past this whole pandemic? Or is there another ulterior motive there? That's the thing. At the end of the day,
lie about yourself.
Talking about an unproven, untested vaccine that doesn't even seem to really protect people because people who've gotten the vaccine are getting sick.
I went to one of the places with the worst vaccination rate.
I don't want a poison forced into me.
I'm tired of y'all trying to control us.
One of the best things we have is our own God-given natural antibodies.
It also has one of the worst COVID case rates in the country, the Ozarks.
I don't take the flu shot, I don't take the pneumonia shot, I don't take any of them.
I wanted to find out why residents here aren't getting vaccinated.
You're trying to mask these kids up. It's detrimental to their health.
And what, if anything, could convince them otherwise?
I find it so interesting that so many people want to genuinely know why others decide not to be vaccinated. Like it's some hidden elixir of life or some kind of mess where people just genuinely cannot understand why people decide to not get vaccinated. First of all, why should you even care? If you're vaccinated and you feel safe, then okay, you feel safe. But for those who really actually truly want to know why others are not vaccinated, it's pretty simple. It has everything to do with the vaccine. It has nothing to really do with COVID. It has everything to do with the vaccine. And I'll give it to you in this way. It has either to do with the lack of trust in the government concerning the vaccine and historic events in the past that led people to decide, maybe not for me. Again, a choice for them. And or something else concerning the vaccine, as this is way too quick of a vaccine that came into play, or I'm seeing side effects. No one seems to want to talk about side effects, right? Side effects happens with every drug. Anything that you should administer into your body, there are concerns of side effects. And yet, nobody wants to talk about it. No social media wants to bring up. No news channel wants to mention. Nobody wants to talk about potential side effects. Heck, every single medication commercial that should come out that we see, they always bring up side effects at the end of it. Please talk to your doctor if you are experiencing blase, and more blase. But when it comes to the vaccine, not one. The only way that we figured out about side effects is because people who actually took the vaccine are telling the others, hey, I happen to get this. And that's when everyone's like, oh, maybe there are side effects. So that's the reason why many people are skeptical. It's not hard to figure out. You don't need to travel all the way to the Ozarks to find that answer. It's quite given, but I know why they did this. They did this because they want other people to think that the vaccine is perfect and there's nothing wrong with it. So what's wrong with people? And this is worth investigating. This is worth us making a piece on. This is true journalism. This is not true journalism. It's as easy as jumping on Google and figuring out why do people not want to be vaccinated.
Like 90% of the patients in this packed hospital, he's unvaccinated.
This is a clear case of you can't see the forest for the trees. And what I mean by that is basically this. Bringing up the fact that those who are hospitalized, 90% of them not being vaccinated, inside the hospital of that location does seem pretty high and also pretty scary. But you have to keep in mind that a hospital is a hospital, and hospitals are always going to admit sick people. So then what about those who decide not to be vaccinated who are not sick? What is the percentage of that?
Get it? I mean, I think that's everybody's individual right or choice to do what they want to. So I'm not one to dictate or make somebody feel guilty because they don't.
And you know what's interesting is that's exactly what New York Times is doing to you. They're making you feel guilty for the decisions that you make, right? This man who is literally on his deathbed has gotten it right, has figured it out that, you know what? I made a decision and I have to lay in it, and that's that. But as a libertarian, I don't want to force others into making that decision. It's everybody gets a choice. And according to him, he might have made the wrong choice, but he's not forcing someone into making the decisions that they don't want to make. He's not chastising them. He's not making fun of them. He's not trying to showcase why they're wrong and he is right. It's very interesting. The very thing that he tries not to become in life or try to not do in life is being done to him by the very people who are interviewing him.
Misinformation certainly exists here, but a powerful force behind the hesitancy is this fundamental idea of personal freedom.
You're exactly right. In the name of freedom. And the last time I checked, we are still able to make that decision because this is a free country, a freedom of choice, a freedom for you to decide to do whatever you should want to do with ramifications associated with them.
I have a parent who does not necessarily support vaccinations. It was hard because she asked me where I was going and I was like, oh, I'm going to get vaccinated, and she was not very happy with that.
So this segment is actually pretty interesting because you have a young girl who decides to go ahead and get vaccinated. And this is actually against the wishes of her own mother. But here's the key point about this. She still was able to get vaccinated. That was a decision that she made. This further coincides with that place where your choice is your choice, whether you should or you should not. They honor that. They might not appreciate it, but she was still able to get the vaccine how she wanted to get it, when she wanted to get it.
Vaccines are always voluntary and never forced.
We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats.
We can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state.
There's no better place to see the impact of this political rhetoric than in the hospital.
What the hell?
Only about 50% of the staff are vaccinated. None of the unvaccinated staffers were willing to talk.
There are just a lot of people that you cannot convince to get vaccinated. Patients, employees, it's very frustrating. It's sad. It's, I don't know, it's disappointing.
Just a few months ago, the staff was planning a cookout to celebrate the end of COVID. But instead of barbecuing, they're now battling another surge.
Really? They were going to have a cookout to celebrate the end of COVID? They're healthcare professionals. Did they really think that COVID was over? Did they really honestly felt within their hearts that COVID wasn't returning, that it wasn't coming back? And these are healthcare professionals. I'm going to side with the fact that that was just BS.
It's always been complicated. But political leaders should remember that this country was also founded on the idea that government should protect us.
This is unequivocally false. The country was never founded on the idea that the government should protect us. Ever. It was actually founded on us protecting ourselves from the government. That's what our country was founded on. It's literally in our Constitution. It's all in our Bill of Rights. The individuality of a person inside a country, giving them the right to express freedom of speech, to bear arms, right of due process, to not worry about a government, a tyrannical government at that, infringing on those rights of a person. So no, I'm not going to buy that lie. It sounded really, really good though, and I'm pretty sure those who don't know that all bought into that lie of yours, but it's absolutely not true. It's funny because this video reminds me of those who generally always get offended when someone pushes their religion onto others, right? Because we have the freedom of practicing whatever religion we should choose to want to practice. But we all feel a certain way when someone tries to force their belief onto others, right? We don't like that because why? It's our personal choice. It's our decision. But when it comes to these vaccines, it's just completely, utterly okay, right? The whole rights of you deciding to make your own choice is just thrown out the window. No one cares about that because getting vaccines will save everyone's life. They will protect you from dying from COVID. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the whole topic. New York Times did a piss poor job, whether it's trying to convince others to get vaccinated or whether it's to try to push for vaccine mandates. I really honestly at this point don't know what their angle was because they just missed it on every single mark. But anyways, you might just disagree with me. If you do, please make a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll be making more videos. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.
When did everyone get a medical degree?